As he stood in the doorway staring at me, Fenric was completely soaked under the rainwater that soaked his body. Is it supposed to come out in this case? His injuries that he received because of Ivan had not yet fully healed. When she approached him until she was face to face, she belatedly noticed the slight change in the color of his red eyes, a different color than what she was accustomed to seeing. Duke Fenric. What happened outside? But Ivan is already dead, so could something dangerous happen again? Or is it Dietrich or Siegfried? But the last days passed very calmly. Oh my God, what else happened to your neck? On his neck was a wound that she had not noticed until recently. It looked like the same wound that had recently inflicted on her face, a burn. That's because, standing still, he grabbed her wrist before she could touch it. However, Fenric could not easily utter a word. He kept staring at her, his red eyes full of mixed emotions, while she looked at him with astonishment and confusion. He had a lot of questions he wanted to ask. But he didn't know where to start, or what to ask first. It's not you who can relate to Presepe. There was only one person from the beginning, and she knows it too. Fenric kept repeating Vidar's words over and over in his mind, until quite a while passed before he moved his dry lips with difficulty. Ms. Yes, Duke. Do you know someone named Vidar? No. Wait a minute. In fact, didn't he say before that he knew the Duke? When Ivan attacked her and Fenric fell unconscious, Vidar had come to the palace. At that time, he said that he had never denied knowing the Duke. So she answered with what she knew, yes, I know him. But it was strange. As soon as he heard her answer, Fenric's features seemed to stiffen even more, before a fragile expression appeared on his face, resembling a dry leaf that was about to crumble as soon as he touched it. Duke Fenric. So, Vidar was right. She knew everything. But what Fenric didn't expect was what she said next. When you lost consciousness and fell, he came to your room. He said he came to see if you were okay. I should have told you right away when I woke up. I'm sorry, but I was in no condition to do so. In fact, there was no opportunity to mention it. A lot of events accumulated in a short time. She discovered his past, heard an honest confession from him that confused her, and then he suddenly had to leave today. And also, will you tell him what happened in the Forbidden Forest? How will he receive it? But her hesitation did not last long. She had already decided to tell him everything when he returned. She had no other choice, and she didn't want to deceive him further. It is true that what you will say will be more than I expected, but... And also, in the Forbidden Forest. I saw him. This time, it was Fenric who suddenly stopped. So here's why. Maybe that's why she, with Vidar's help, was able to reach the monster's placental cord in the middle of all the chaos. But if she knew him, why? First, Duke. I was looking for someone. I don't know how you will receive my words, but I had to find him at any cost. Vidar gave me a lead that would lead me to him. To find it at any cost? This is what Vidar also said. And Presepe herself said so, that she had a place to return to. So, their words were identical in essence. So does this mean that Presepe can't leave this world unless she bonds with Vidar? But, why didn't she recognize this person when she saw him in front of her? Fenric's red eyes, filled with the image of Presepe, suddenly sparkled with a sharp gleam. He also told me about Nidhogg, about my father. What were you looking for? Who is he? Demon King. But Vidar said that the Demon King might be dead. He said he disappeared, but the last place he was seen was in the north of the Forbidden Forest, so maybe we can find information there. That's why I went. What happened in the Forbidden Forest is all there is to it. The moment Fenric heard Presepe's hurried words, he realized the truth. She was looking for the Demon King, but she had absolutely no idea that that person was Vidar. And the suspicious man I saw in the church was also Vidar. Fenric clearly remembered which statue it was that was broken, and he also remembered Vidar's appearance, and he avoided giving a clear answer when he asked him why he did that, contenting himself with words that were neither affirmative nor negative. He was hiding his identity? About Presepe? Could it be that his sudden breaking of the statue was merely out of fear that Presepe would recognize him? Has Vidar done anything for your happiness, Duke? But the Vidar he saw that day showed no intention of doing anything that might threaten Fenric. If he really meant to do it, he would have done it then. Fenric was unconsciously asleep from the medication, and Presepe alone was beside him. This was the best chance to kill him. No. Fenric said dryly, moving his lips. No, he didn't do anything. He has to hide it. The fact that Vidar is the Demon King. This was all that came to his mind after hearing Presepe's words. From his point of view, he had no other choice. If Presepe can't leave this world unless she bonds with Vidar, she will eventually choose him. And you will be with him. And she will abandon me, without the slightest hesitation. If you kill them all, the thought that had occurred to him in the past, when he knew that in this world he was nothing but a nobody, and when he realized that he would never be able to reach Presepe, suddenly passed through his ear. So if I alone remain her only option, then it's settled, right? It hasn't changed. Only the person he had to kill had changed. If he kills Vidar, he will be the only person in this world who can relate to Presepe. But what about Presepe's desire to leave this place? How can he prevent this? Fenric slowly lowered his head, then buried his face in Precipice's shoulder. Duke. If you don't want to leave, don't give up on me. Will I be able to keep you? But his inner feeling answered him in the negative. Even if he stuck to her with everything he had, Presepe couldn't give up her goal so easily. He was strangely sure of that. However, he couldn't act like them. He could not shackle her feet as Atari Hannon had done, nor imprison her as Noah Duverne or Dietrich had done. He could not kill her to possess her completely like Siegfried, nor threaten her life like Ivan did. His feelings for Presepe have always been sincere. That's why he wanted her to smile sincerely. He always wanted to see that smile that he had seen the day she walked out of the imperial palace with him. But, at the same time, he was unable to simply say to her, "Do whatever you want." He was unable to let her go with the comforting phrase, "Your happiness is my happiness." Even after he reached this stage, he still remained at the end. Fenric slowly raised his head and stared at Presepe, who was looking at him with eyes full of worry. At that moment, even in this position, he found her adorable, and perhaps he felt a little jealous of her as well. "Duke, I have something." His grip was so strong that Presepe couldn't push him away. "Just stay," Fenric whispered in a cracked voice. "Just for today, stay like that. As you are." He felt like he knew what she was going to say. Maybe she would have confessed everything honestly. But as soon as Presepe says words that mean she has to leave this place, those words will become reality, and they will take her far, far away from him. To a place he cannot reach no matter how many people he kills. So Fenric hugged her tightly, and remained there for a long time without moving.